Hey then everyone, Juan Romero here from SwitchWatch, back with another review. This one is 2 Point Hospital, a game that I've been looking forward to for a while now. Back when I was a boy a while ago, there were 3 games which I remember fondly from a company called Bullfrog, a British company which made games like Populous, My Favourite Theme Park, and of course Theme Hospital. Theme Park was always my number one. Something about building successful parks with great roller coasters never got old to me, and oversalting chips so people would buy more drinks was always amusing, and was just one little thing that made these games so great to play: that sense of humour. Theme Hospital was also very good to me, but in a different way. Bullfrog was eaten up, or should I say bought, by Electronic Arts, and then when Peter Molyneux left the company, it was dead, which was a great shame. But Peter went on to form Lionhead Games along with Mark Webley. And Mark Webley was the producer of the original Theme Hospital, wanted to make another that had a broader appeal, a project he had on his mind for a number of years, which came to fruition on PC and other consoles in 2018, named 2 Point Hospital, and has now been ported to our lovely Nintendo Switch. So has it been worth it? Let's take a look. 2 Point Hospital is a business simulation game, and your goal is of course to run successful hospitals here in the fictional 2 Point County. The controls and interface can be sought through with ease, and it's accessible very simply on the Switch, and that's really quite paramount to get the casuals amongst you willing to give this a shot. There's plenty of information available that you can access and absorb, but to get going in building and placing staff into those hospitals is nice and simple. Not 100% perfect, but I think it's as good as you're going to get. 2 Point Hospital right now has a campaign mode, but I've always had the most fun with sandbox mode, but more on that later. For now, the main campaign consists of you going through a number of challenges in which you'll be given the opportunity to build hospitals in different areas within 2 Point County, each with different demographics and requirements. For example, in one area you have a high number of people taking part in risky activities and break a lot of bones. Hospital's main focus then has to have a big enough fracture unit or ward to cope. Position your departments within your hospital and price accordingly. It is super compelling, and one night I was up till 4 AM, didn't bat an eyelid, and didn't even realise I was so engrossed. Once you complete the number of challenges, you're going to want to succeed in making sure you have at least 1-star hospital before you can move on to the next area. The game won't let you do so until you get at least 1 star on the current hospital that you're working on. And sometimes even a few more options open up and you can develop wherever takes your fancy. And getting a star on each hospital, you're going to need your hospital to become a certain value or cure a number of patients with a certain type of ailment, so on and so forth. In essence, to complete this mode, you would have built 15 hospitals, not including DLC, and you need to build up your kudos, which is organization-wide currency, which can be spent in other hospitals which you've built. If they need a boost, they're not doing as well as the others. All hospitals have various new upgrades, staff, training and challenges that you'll need to overcome in order to succeed, and making sure your hospital has a good reputation is vital. Score over 86% for a great reputation and below 50% for a very, very poor reputation. At these levels, you're fast on the way to becoming bankrupt. Now, all regions have differing climates too, bringing with it completely different challenges, and you need to overcome these, not to mention the random epidemics which can overwhelm your hospital at any time, a random earthquake to keep you on your toes. For me, it's the game's tutorial mode, so to speak. Each new hospital will introduce to you new rooms that you can build, new upgrades, and also throw in new problems. And the further you get, the more stuff you'll have to juggle and get right in order to overcome the challenge. For example, in one area, you have to build loads of psychiatrist rooms because everyone in town seems to think that they're a rock star. So there is a load of humour thrown in. You need to employ doctors with the relevant qualifications too, which isn't always easy because they might not be available, which is why you can train them up within your own facilities if you've built them. However, you do have to take them out of work for training, so you have to prepare for these eventualities. The better your reputation, the more you can charge for your services, the more money you make. And at the end of the day, it's all about the bottom line. The more money you can make, the more you can invest in better hospitals with the latest equipment and technologies. You can also research new ones and upgrade existing machines. It really is a lot to keep on top of. Placement is also key. The right amount of space between each room is absolutely essential. Each plot of land allows for expansion too, so hospitals can get rather large. How big do you make those rooms? How many beds should you have in a ward? Should you have a large room for staff to chill in or a small area? A lot of it, to be fair, is trial and error. Making use of that space you have is a commodity. Ill afford to waste it if you want to make your hospital a successful business. A return investment is absolutely key to making sure you don't run into trouble. And I went bankrupt a number of times because I was just too impatient, letting my hospital's reputation go bad, ramping up prices to cover up my spiraling costs, people getting even more upset and telling others, a recipe for disaster, staff even threatening to leave and resigning. Oh yes, the spiral of doom and stress is real, and when you've put in a few hours building up a hospital and you have to start again, yeah, it can be frustrating. Now, you may need to expand by buying up land, and you may need a loan to do that, so this can be fraught with danger if you don't make enough cash. There's all sorts of things that can go wrong too, and it's all down to you. Not enough toilets, or place them in the wrong places, and you're going to get people shitting on the floor. Sorry for the language, but I need to make a strong point that having liquid pap or pee on the floor is not good for any hospital's look, especially having staff or worse, patients slip on it. And then that poor janitor is not only going to have to clean up the piss and the shit and everything that's going on, but he's going to deal with projectile vomit as well. I mean, no man or woman should be cleaning that. Hilarious? Well, yes it is. Good for your bottom line? Not so much. Lose patience and they'll come back as ghosts if they die to scare the living daylights out of your patients. If you don't have a janitor with the relevant Ghostbuster expertise, that's your problem, pal. I always found that a lot of the newer sims were just too basic to really get me going, but here you have all the information you need. How much are you charging for each of your treatments to how much profit you're making in any given month. It's all about providing a good service, charging a reasonable amount for those services so people want to come to your hospital over and over again. I mean, what's the saying? If you have a good experience, you'll tell one other person, but if you have a bad experience, it will get round to about 7 people. Of course, the busier you get, the harder it's going to be to keep on top of things too, and that's where the fun is, finding that right balance. I found this best played on the big screen, I have to admit. I found it a little bit difficult to play and manage everything going on the little screen, but otherwise it still plays great. There are still some frustrations though, like having to build hospitals from scratch every time you go to a new place, a new challenge. However, there is a nice copy and paste feature of rooms that you've built before, which was a previous patch that was released, which was welcome. I mean, I am looking for some bad points here, and you probably want to know them, but honestly, I was having too much of a laugh and a good time to notice. There might be a few small gripes that I picked up, like the AI at times. They don't always do what they need to do. I had one where I built a research room, for example, and the announcer kept telling the researcher to go over to the room, which was right getting on my nerves. But you can micromanage the staff if need be and put them in the right place. As I say, it doesn't happen too often. You can manage all the staff salaries too, training schedules, so you have the best people available. In all honesty, I thought with each new hospital I might start to tire of the repetitiveness of building the same buildings over and over again. But to be fair, each new challenge thrown up is fun and funny to deal with. The mode I was most looking forward to though is Sandbox mode. Sadly only currently available on PC right now, and that was an upgrade to the base game. I spoke to Sega though, and they have confirmed that this will be coming to the Nintendo Switch in March, so happy days. If you were like me looking forward to that, then don't worry, it is coming. In the meantime, you can get those challenges done. Really like the audio here. You have the hospital radio playing the music, and the announcer's pretty funny to listen to in an over-the-top kind of way. The announcer telling staff and you as the player what's going on with the hospital is hilarious. I can't tell you how many times she would let me know very helpfully that the hospital was on fire.
There's a fire. There shouldn't be a fire.
I must remember to put those fire extinguishers in every room. Then you have those nice little backing tracks which feel like those type of songs you would hear in a shopping mall, but equally feel right for this hospital environment. Visuals for me are just right, although sometimes the writing is hard to see, specifically in handheld, as there's quite a bit of information if you get into the menus, and the writing is rather small. As I already stated though, the menus are simple to navigate, and the top-down view, which you can zoom in and out of, turn 360 with the analog stick, is perfect to view your hospitals from every angle. And you can even zoom right out and just see everything in dots moving around. But again, nice visualization of the information that you require. Everything is depicted with a smiley face or an angry face so that you can tell that the patient is unhappy. What it sets out to achieve, it achieves with a minimum amount of fuss, no hampering performance, even when things are going mental and you have a large hospital. Let's talk about value before I go. Digitally in the UK it's $34.99, the US $39.99 in dollars, and EU $39.99 respectively. All of which can be bought on Amazon cheaper than the digital version using our links below for that physical edition, which is my go-to every time. Expect to save around £5, $5 or €5 or so off the digital version if you buy direct from a retailer. Is it worth it? That depends. If you own a PC or another console, sure, it can be bought cheaper elsewhere, and some may just prefer a game like this with a mouse and keyboard. On PC you also get that sandbox mode right now, which is not available on console. Hold your horses though before you say this isn't a buy because of that, because as I said, it's coming in March as a free DLC. This game also includes the last 2 DLC packs, which added a bunch of new diseases and locations where you can build new hospitals, and these were called Bigfoot and Pebbly Island DLCs. So in terms of my verdict, before I get into that, if you are a new watcher here, please consider subscribing and hitting that bell notification so we can let you know when our new videos go live. Also in the description there's a Gleam link, I'll pin it in the comment as well. If you click on that, there's a number of ways where you can enter to win a prize from our friends at GioTeck, who are giving away a couple of TX30 mega packs, which include a headset, case and protective kit. We've got 2 of those to give away. Get your entries in now. We'll pick 2 random winners and get those sent to you. If you're a fan of sim games, then this has the perfect balance for me. It's not going to bore you to death with menu after menu, but just has enough information so you can make informed decisions which will affect your hospital. It's accessible and superb fun building functioning hospitals, and you'll laugh when you get it wrong, as this has some great sense of humour going for it. Sure, it can be annoying and a little bit repetitive when you fail and you have to build the same stuff over and over, but if that's going to annoy you, then I suspect that this isn't going to be for you anyway. Everyone else, it's time to save lives and have fun doing so. And those wanting sandbox, well, you'll have to wait till March. Until then, for me, a solid 8 out of 10. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're still here supporting, thank you so much for watching our videos. Really does mean a lot, and we do very much appreciate your support. We're coming up to 50,000 subscribers now, so if you're not a subscriber, you might want to subscribe. We're giving away a Nintendo Switch Lite and Zelda Link's Awakening when we hit that number, and of course we're always doing giveaways. If you haven't checked out our bargain videos yet, then we give $10 every week to a lucky winner who just lets us know what their pick of the week is, And of course, we also have another wonderful series where Jordan lets you know all the physical games that are being released every Monday. So get involved in our community by leaving a comment down below letting us know your thoughts on this game, and if you want to join our Discord, I'll leave a link in the description and we can chat over there. Take care everyone, this is Juan Romero from SwitchWatch, and I'll see you again on the next one. Take care.